Greetings from Edu Aspirants, our YouTube channel to ace academics, competitions, entrance exams, as also for enrichment of knowledge. In the series of our videos on India, in chapter 13, this is the second of the two videos on environment. The government has identified 38 mangrove and 4 coral reef sites throughout the country for their intensive conservation and management. This is a picture of a mangrove, a typical mangrove, and this is a coral reef. You know, coral reefs in India you generally find in the coastal regions. Under the aegis of the Man and Biosphere MAB program of UNESCO, the Indian National Man and Biosphere Committee has 18 designated biosphere reserves, of which 10 biosphere reserves have been included in the World Network of Biosphere Reserves of UNESCO. The Ministry of Environment, Forests and Climate Change has set up 5 regional offices at Bengaluru, Bhopal, Bhubaneswar, Lucknow and Shillong, with headquarters at New Delhi, to monitor and evaluate ongoing forestry development projects and schemes with special emphasis on conservation of forest land, and to advise the state, union territory governments in preparation of proposals involving diversion of forest land for non-forestry purposes under the provisions of the Forest Conservation Act 1980. Wildlife conservation. Integrated development of wildlife habitats. The protected area network of the country comprises 733 protected areas, including 103 national parks, 537 wildlife sanctuaries, 67 conservation reserves and 26 community reserves. Wildlife Crime Control Bureau is a statutory multidisciplinary body established under the ministry to combat organized wildlife crime in the country. The Bureau has its headquarters in New Delhi and 5 regional offices at Delhi, Kolkata, Mumbai, Chennai and Jabalpur, 3 sub-regional offices at Guwahati, Amritsar and Cochin, and 5 border units at Ramanathapuram, Gorakhpur, Motihari, Nathula and More. As also, some more border units are being added. International conventions. Basel Convention on the Control of Trans-Boundary Movements of Hazardous Wastes and Their Disposal was adopted in 1989 in Basel, Switzerland. The overarching objective of the Basel Convention is to protect human health and the environment against the adverse effects of hazardous wastes. Rotterdam Convention on the Prior Informed Consent Procedure for certain hazardous chemicals and pesticides in international trade was acceded by India. The designated national authorities, DNAs, for India are in the Ministry of Agriculture and Cooperation. The official contact points are designated in Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. More international conventions. Stockholm Convention on Persistent Organic Pollutants is a global treaty to protect human health and the environment from POPs. The convention covers 23 chemicals. The Minamata Convention on Mercury, Japan, is a global treaty to protect human health and the environment from the adverse effects of mercury. Strategic approach to international chemicals management was acceded by over 190 countries, including India, as an international policy framework to foster sound management of chemicals. Wetlands provide a host of ecosystem services to humanity in addition to being host to rich biodiversity. but due to anthropogenic activities, wetlands are getting degraded. To control degradation and conserve wetlands, the National Wetland Conservation Program (NWCP) was initiated, and financial assistance is being provided to the state governments for implementing action plans for conservation and management of identified wetlands. As a commitment for conserving potential wetlands given by the Ramsar Convention. Ramsar is a place in Iran where the convention was held. India is a signatory for international cooperation and to take national action for conservation and wise use of wetlands. There are 75 Ramsar sites in India, more being added, and February 2 is celebrated as Wetlands Day. Forestry research. Indian Council of Forestry Research and Education, Dehradun, ICFRE, has been undertaking the holistic development of forestry research, education and extension covering all aspects of forestry. Major institutes engaged in forest research are Forest Research Institute, Dehradun. These are important to remember. Institute of Forest Genetics and Tree Breeding, Coimbatore. Institute of Wood Science and Technology, Bengaluru. Tropical Forest Research Institute, Jabalpur. Rainforest Institute, Jorhat. Arid Forest Research Institute, Jodhpur. Himalayan Forest Research Institute, Simla. Institute of Forest Productivity, Ranchi, and Institute of Forest Biodiversity, Hyderabad. Indira Gandhi National Forest Academy was constituted in 1987 to impart professional training to the Indian Forest Service probationers and has been accorded the status of Staff College for imparting mid-career training for officers of IFS. The Academy also provides orientation courses to various other stakeholders like joint training for members of All India Services, Indian Revenue Services probationers, members of High Judiciary and others. Wildlife Institute of India, WII, established in 1982 in Dehradun. It is the premier training and research institution in the field of wildlife and protected area management. This is the logo in South as well as Southeast Asia. The Center of Excellence scheme provides support to the universities, reputed institutions including NGOs, professional organizations and other scientific and technological institutions to enable them to develop into advanced centers at the national level in that particular subject area to cater the need of the ministry. There are 7 centers of excellence functioning under the ministry. Center for Environment Education, Ahmedabad. CPR Environmental Education Center, Chennai. Center for Ecological Sciences, Indian Institute of Science, Bengaluru. Salim Ali Center for Ornithology and History, Coimbatore. Ornithology is the study of birds. Center for Environment Management of Degraded Ecosystems, Delhi. Madras School of Economics, Chennai. And Foundation for Revitalization of Local Health Traditions, Bengaluru. Climate Change Action Program creates and strengthens the scientific and analytical capacity for assessment of climate change in the country, putting in place appropriate institutional framework for scientific and policy initiatives and implementation of climate change related actions in the context of sustainable development. The Ministry of Environment collaborates with the Ministry of Earth Sciences, the Indian Space Research Organization, ISRO, the Ministry of Science and Technology, and other associate agencies to enhance understanding of the role of black carbon in climate change. 90% of ozone formed in this way lies between 10 to 15 kilometers above the Earth's surface in the stratosphere. The ozone found in the part of the atmosphere is called the ozone layer. The ozone layer absorbs all the harmful UVB radiations emanating from the sun. It protects plant and animal life from UVB radiation. The UVB radiation has the potential to cause skin cancer, eye cataract, suppress body's immune system, decrease crop yield, and other things too. And this led to the adoption of the Vienna Convention for the protection of the ozone layer in 1985 and the Montreal Protocol on substances that deplete the ozone layer in 1987. The ministry has set up the ozone cell as a national ozone unit to render necessary services for effective and timely implementation of the protocol. This brings us to the end of the second of the two videos on India, chapter 13 on environment. Keep revising. The next video on the next chapter on India shall be uploaded soon. Please subscribe, like, share, and do press the bell icon for regular updates. Best wishes for your forthcoming exams.